One of the hardest things about reaching the top is staying there, and this is especially true for golf courses. Concord, considered one of Sydney's best, is facing that challenge head-on with a total revamp. It's by world-class designer Tom Doak, a man famous for courses like Barnbougle and Cape Kidnappers. Tom Doak, great to have you on the Golf Show.
Thanks.
You've been designing for 30 years. Did you think when you began you'd get to this point and go, okay, well, there's 4 courses in the top 100 in the world?
No, not really. I don't think anybody thinks that when they start out. And I didn't really have connections in the golf business at all. I mean, a lot of architects are either famous players or their father was an architect before them. So just to get to the point where you're designing courses on your own is a thrill in some respects. But I always took the tack that I wanted to be involved in building great courses, not just be an architect.
Okay, so when you say a great course, and you've been pretty outspoken as to what's a good course and what doesn't work, and so in your mind, what's a great course?
Well, just courses that are in the conversation with all the great old courses of the past.
There's a big difference between the land at, say, working with Barnbougle,
Yes.
where you have open slather, and then coming to Concord, for instance, and dealing with something that's already here and changing that.
Right.
What's the better challenge? What's the bigger challenge?
Well, they're completely different on several levels. The 2 pieces of land couldn't be more different in terms of soils, character, what kind of golf you're going to play. And then in one place, you're creating a course from scratch. And in the other place, you've got several hundred members who sort of like the golf course the way it is, or presumably they wouldn't be members here.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more resistance to change. When I'm building something new, it doesn't matter if somebody here doesn't like it. They don't have to go play there.
Yeah.
But here, they're signed up already. So there's a lot more politics. They want to know in a lot more detail what we're going to do, which is really hard because we try to be spontaneous and get ideas when we're out there. We see things that make us change what we've put on paper.
Yep.
And yet we put it on paper and these people are concerned if we're going to change it. So,
we didn't sign up to that, Tom.
That's right.
We did.
And, I wouldn't, normally, in fact, I don't do very many redesign projects like this.
So this is the 18th hole, and clearly
A work in progress.
You've done some digging. So when you do it, when you design it, do you already know that the green's going to be running? There's going to be a little mound here, and is that all planned, or is?
No. Well, for a lot of architects, it would be. They would have spent a little more time here in the beginning and drawn plans, and then felt some obligation to stick to them. But I tell no, not me. I just figure, if I'm going to spend X number of days on this project, I want to do it at the business end when things are really happening and I can edit and see things as I go and change things. We're trying to create more variety on this course and make it ideally different, more different to other clubs in Sydney. So what kinds of things could we do? And so, one of the things you rarely see on a golf course in Australia is like a punch bowl green.
So by saying that, you mean a green so everything's going to feed down into it?
A green that everything feeds down into it. This green before was up in the air and most of the members are hitting a long uphill second shot to it and they're just lucky to get here. A lot of them are chipping from the front of the green basically and trying not to go in a bunker. And now they're going to be playing around that mound into a green that feeds down in from right to left.
For you as a designer, do you then go, do you want us as golfers do you want us to look down the thing and sit there and get nervous and go, oh, if I hit it there, now I'm gonna top it? Or do you want to empower us? Or do you want to...
Some of both.
Yeah.
I mean, people don't realize what a visual thing it is and how much you're manipulated by what you see and how it changes how you think. It's not just about the X's and O's of where to put bunkers on the hole. It's like, how does that affect you that I've put a bunker there? You may not go in it, but you still may be afraid of it. or it may make you, it draws your eye to it subconsciously, so you wind up going there even though that's not the place to be.
So this is the psychology, this is an actual psychology of...
Yes.
Right. It sounds like almost a God complex, doesn't it? You know, you go, well, now I'm going to get in your head. I'm going to push you over.
Well, you know, when I worked for Pete Dye, he said very seriously to me one day, that's about the only thing you can do if you want to battle really good players.
So, Tom, how do you see it? Like, what do you see? Do you see shapes?
Yeah, well, it's very different from hole to hole, and it's a much more visual thing than people understand. They think all I'm thinking about is the strategy of the golf hole and what club you're hitting into the green, and sometimes that's not what's driving the design at all. Like, this is the 14th hole, shortest par 3 on the course.
Yeah.
And originally there were a bunch of trees behind this green. Where the bulldozer is operating is actually the 12th green, which you couldn't see at all before.
Right.
It was just eucalyptus. The design for number 12 green is all based on what it looks like from here. It's more based on what it looks like from here than how number 12 actually plays.
Right.
I'm trying to get it to look like this green and the 12th green are one big green from here. The question we get asked most in our consulting work is, isn't that going to make the course easier? Like, that would be the worst thing in the world if we did anything that made the course easier.
So fun's important. Because fun's not like, you know...
Fun is critical. And, you know, and I don't understand... I mean, I understand on championship courses you're trying to challenge great players and that you were taking it all very seriously. You know, a lot of my best work, Barnbougle, Kidnappers, Bandon, those are all resort courses.
Yeah.
People aren't going there to, break par.
They're going there to have a good time with their mates.
And they are at private clubs too. That's the part, that's the disconnect, is that, you know, when you talk to the committee at the club, it's like, no, it's all this serious thing, and, you know, there's the board with everybody's name on it, and we've got to protect that in some way.
Yeah.
But most of the members, they're out here to have a fun. Part of that's being challenged. You know, if the golf course isn't challenging, if it's just easy and it doesn't matter where you hit it, that's not fun. And I've never been accused of building courses that aren't challenging.
Yeah.
But they're just challenging in different ways, and they aren't like beat you over the head challenging. When you do something wrong, 30 lashes.
Right. So, Mark, how do you end up getting Tom Doak to redesign Concord Golf Club?
We assessed that we had problems with drainage in the greens, poor bunkers in terms of drainage as well. Had problems with houses adjoining the property. So when you combine that all together, we knew we were up for a fair sum of money just to fix those problems.
Yeah.
And you think, well, for all that disruption and that money, how much further to get a better golf course?
And was it much more to redesign the whole course?
Relatively no, but the disruptions are virtually the same. That was the point. So if you're going to go through that disruption, why not go through it once and have a much better golf course?
He says he doesn't want to actually tell you exactly what something's going to look like, because it won't look like that.
Correct.
Which is sort of exciting, and like it's like going on a blind date for a golf course, design, isn't it?
It is. I guess they call it the Trust Me Golf is what they like to refer it, and that's what the club's embraced.
Trust Me Golf.
Trust Me Golf.
And there's the bonus that you're selling the turf. So you're spending money, but you're making money on the side as well.
Yeah, once again, the stars aligned. Sydney's got a shortage of turf at the moment. We needed to renovate our fairways anyway. They're not being played on for 12 weeks, so they'll regenerate and be better than ever.
So you can have Concord grass.
All around Sydney.
Yeah, that's why I'm walking. I just feel like I'm at Concord. Don't know why.
Recycling.
So, Tom, when it's all said and done, so a year's time, it's 2 years bedded in, what's the feeling you want the golfers of Concord and their guests to remember?
Well, I've learned I don't control what other people think, but to me, the best compliment is it's interesting.
Yeah.
You know, that means they want to come back and try it again, and they think maybe they'll figure it out better the next time, which is so much more exciting than just I'll play better, you know, because they're not going to play better.
Yeah.
But maybe they'll figure out a better way to do it where it saves them some shots. And to me, that's what keeps the game interesting and keeps you wanting to go back.
So is there a point where you can actually figure out a golf course? where it's, you know, you finally, oh well.
A lot of golf courses, yes. The best golf courses, no.
Right.
St. Andrews has been around 500 years, and they're still trying to figure out what some of those things are doing and what's the best way to attack it. And that's, you know, all the best work you can do is like that. It kind of takes on a life of its own at some point. So I guess that's what I hope for here, that these holes continue to evolve in people's minds.
Great. Well, thanks very much for your time. Good luck with the project, and a real pleasure to meet you, so thanks.
Thanks for coming out. Sorry about the golf shoes. Not the best construction shoes here, but...
They're vinyl,
good.
They're wipe-offs.
And they're perfect.
Wipe-offs.
I wear these to play golf at famous clubs, and I get
They go.
really nasty
Really,
looks
Tom? Yeah,
sometimes.
I bet. And black socks.